What up? What up? What up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? What's going down, baby? Super Bowl 60 is over. We got a lot to talk about, and we will get to it shortly. But right now, don't forget when you pull up, hit a like, share, subscribe for the algorithm. Put a one in the chat if you're chilling. No, I'm sorry. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you're chilling. Put a one in the chat if you at work. Let's get to it, and we're gonna be as open and shut as the game was. Um, the Seattle Seahawks came into Super Bowl 60 seemingly with all the confidence in the world, right? And after each team's first drive, we see why. Seattle's defensive front, not the front eight, Seattle's defensive front four took away any doubt as to where the game was headed early in the game. Uh, Drake May was under fire early and often. Patriots defense, they stood tall, they stood strong. They didn't let the game get too far out of hand early on, but it was clear that the Patriots offense was a no go, was a no show, like it's been throughout the playoffs. Um, Will Campbell got his ass whooped from start to finish. No matter who was in front of him, he got beat from start to finish. He got embarrassed. It was a saying where uh, people kept replaying when Sam Darnold was saying, seeing ghosts out there. Well, Drake May was Drake May wasn't seeing ghosts. Drake May was seeing live, up close and personal, four in particular, well, seven, but four in particular dogs on the Seattle defense, which they have named the dark side. I love it. They didn't try to go back to the Legion of Boom. Totally different personality, totally different scheme. And they went into San Francisco and they put a thumping on the Patriots like no other. That defense of Seattle, the dark side, they forced a historically bad performance yesterday. I never seen a performance so bad in the Super Bowl. Well, I have seen a game that was more lopsided. San Francisco 49ers versus San Diego Chargers. That was really really lopsided. But this is the first game that I've seen that was that bad in a long time. And I mean, it showed from like I said, the first quarter on. Patriots defense get crazy. Kudos, especially Christian Gonzalez. He shut down Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp. Uh, he played a hell of a game. He showed why he's top two cornerbacks in the league. I'll put him two behind Pat Surtain Jr. Uh, Nothing to say about him, but that game was won and lost. But that game was won up front. The Patriots offensive line was probably one of the worst I've seen in a long time. Outside, well, not even a long time. 365 days ago, when Kansas City's offensive line got a whooping like that from the Philadelphia. If I'm Drake May, me and Mike Vrabel got to have a talk. Me and Mike Vrabel got to have a talk. Me and Vrabel got to have a talk, and then me and Will Campbell got to have a little more than a talk. If I'm Drake May, we might gotta go in a little. You might gotta lock us in a room for a minute, because throughout the playoffs, Will Campbell just showed that he wasn't it. They may have to move him to guard, but in the Houston game, he was no good. In the Denver game, he was no good. And last night, Houston was probably the worst game that they played as a whole. But last night, man, he was pass rush, getting by him. Run defense. I mean, he was getting bull rushed when he was anchoring down and just getting ran over, just getting blew up. Yeah, I don't like, man. I don't know what to say about it. But Mike Vrabel, you had to watch that. I know he's a first round draft pick and all that, top 5 overall. You shouldn't have to put a tight end over there, but you should have put a tight end over there because he blew your game plan up. They blew the game plan up after what? Second quarter, Seattle didn't have to blitz anymore. They picked a couple spots, got a couple turnovers, but they didn't have to blitz after a while, and it was a hard watch, man, because I'm a football fan. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but overall I'm a football fan, and that shit was a hard watch last night. That Super Bowl was a hard watch, only because you knew it was over after the first quarter. You knew it was over. Yeah, man. I mean, it's really nothing to even say about that. It's a story I'm happy with, which is Sam Darnold, because I'm a fan of his. I like the Jets too, but I'm a fan of Sam Darnold. And I thought Minnesota, and people was like, oh, they blaming the general manager, blah blah. They fired the general manager. He had Sam Darnold. He went 14-3. He showed you what he could do, and you let him walk out the door for JJ McCarthy, who will play a good game, and then the next week will look like he never played football before. JJ McCarthy is the most odd quarterback, has the most odd quarterback play I've ever seen in my life. JJ McCarthy will look like a world beater Sunday, and then 7 days later, look like it was his first time ever suiting up. I never seen nothing like it before. Justin Jefferson, yeah, man. Listen. Anyway, man, look, we're gonna move on from that, because that Super Bowl was atrocious. Nobody could win. No bets. No parlays could even. You couldn't even have a parlay because they played so bad. So that game last night made the bookies in Vegas happy. A lot of people got their money. I mean, a lot of the bookies and the Vegas lines, it made for a good because this was a good fantasy season and people was winning a lot because I won a lot and I know I lost a lot yesterday on parlays, so I know Vegas was happy and sports books was happy. Hopefully nobody got in bed with no leg breakers because it's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers on crutches today because that was horrible. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Now, let's get to the halftime show. Um, the one that was at the game. I like Bad Bunny, so I enjoyed the halftime show. Um, I don't speak Spanish, but I do know a lot of his songs when they come on. That the I think he started out with his best song. I would have did that. Well, it was a reasoning behind it. Obviously, the way he ended the show, I would have put that song on somewhere in the middle or closer to the end because because the people that know his discography, like I said, I listen to him, but I don't know I don't understand the songs, but I know I like the songs. That song that he started out with would have been good towards the middle or towards the end. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the halftime show. A lot of people I know enjoyed the halftime show. My mom wanted. My mom's a football fan. I'm from Alabama, so my mom's from the country, so she liked football. So she was in the kitchen, and I was like, she was making something because we ordered like a bunch of wings, like a million wings and all this other shit. So I was like, yeah, you can make the whatever you was gonna make at halftime. And she was like, halftime? I'm waiting on the show. I said, what you mean? She said, the guy, I want to see the I said, you want to see Bad Bunny? And my mom's 73. I said, you want to see Bad Bunny? She was like, hell yeah. I said, oh Lord, this woman wants to see Bad Bunny at 73. So hopefully some people that had a lot to say, hopefully they became, if not fans, just more understanding, um, things like that, and more open minded to different types. Like me, I do agree that it should be next year some country and all that stuff in the halftime show. Carry Under whoever. I do agree with that. Um, so with all that being said, I like the halftime show. Love the production, everything about it, man. I enjoyed everything about it. I enjoyed the whole Super Bowl from start to finish. I didn't know that McDonald was the defensive coordinator for Seattle. Seattle's a West Coast team. I'm on the East Coast, even though I got every game. Um, I didn't know he called the plays. He put together a hell of a game plan. Uh, as I was telling people, Drake May's a young guy, and young guys can often you can fool young quarterbacks. You can trick them with coverages and what you show as opposed to what you run pre and post snap, things like that. And they did that a couple times, but after a while, they just said, you know what? We ain't even got to get deep into this bag. We can just beat their ass up front and just beat him up. And that's what they did. That's what they did. The Patriots need a receiver. They need a receiver that can get open. They need a left tackle. They need a left tackle and a left guard. And they got a lot to work on because if Bo Nix wasn't hurt, I don't even see them being in the Super Bowl. If CJ Stroud didn't try to one up Drake May with all the turnovers, I don't even see them being in the AFC Championship. So they got a lot of work to do. Even though they made it to the Super Bowl, and you like, oh, they just got a couple more. They got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of shit to fix. You know, um, a lot of shit to fix. Uh, Super Bowl commercials was the worst that I've seen in my Super Bowl, in my adult, watching Super Bowls. Really, really bad commercials. Really bad commercials. No commercial stood out to me except for I Show Speed. But I saw him online doing his own stunts, making the commercial. So I just wanted to see the commercial. It wasn't really a good commercial. It was a Meta Ray-Ban ad. With shout out to Speed, shout out to Mr. Beast. He had a commercial. Sofia Vergara, she had about three, if I'm not mistaken. I saw her about three times. Key from Key and Peele, saw him twice at least. So yeah, Ben Affleck, with the Dunkin' Donuts commercials, which is becoming a mainstay every year. I like that. I like Ben Affleck in them. Tom Brady was in there. It took his girl. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, yeah, it was a play on it was a it was a play on Boston and all that. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But no really good commercials. Uh, and I think it was a lot of streaming type shit, and I think the stream is taking over, and it's I won't say affecting, but I'll say it's influencing a lot of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? The streaming is influencing a lot of what's going on, wise. So now, as sad as it is, as it was yesterday, there is no more. I'm gonna try to start watching the NBA, even though I'd rather watch college. So what I might do is I might start catering to the college game, even though it don't really make for hot content. You feel me? College basketball don't really make for hot content like college football. So now that football's over, you're gonna see some basketball, NBA talk. Definitely gonna see more boxing talk. And there's a couple things that can happen with that. Uh, that directions that I was gonna go, but I didn't because of football season. So it's gonna be a few things going on. It's gonna be a couple little glitches in the matrix here. Team member, team member. Yeah, it's gonna be a couple little glitches in the matrix. Uh, It's gonna be some announcements, some brands. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some stuff going on. It's gonna be some. We gonna hop back on the merch. We're gonna hop back on the merch. Probably in March. Probably in March. We're gonna jump back on the merch, and because we're gonna start promoting it, and we're gonna get it where it need to be, and uh, we're gonna start doing some vlogs, just shit like that. We're gonna get the pod back right, truck talk, and we're gonna get the truck talk back right, and we're gonna get back to the desk and the microphone, all that shit. We just gonna move. We are gonna move the way we was moving before, when it was moving for real, how we wanted it to move. Um, I'm kind of excited about it. We're gonna integrate TikTok. We're gonna integrate a little AI. We're gonna integrate some people, some guest hosts, or some guests, some show guests, friends of the show. Yeah, we're gonna do all that, man. So appreciate y'all for pulling up to my Super Bowl recap. I'm sorry it wasn't a better game and we could talk more about it and all that type of shit. I'm not getting into the Cardi B and with Stephon Diggs. I don't really care about that. Cardi B was all over the place. She was on the flag football show, drunk, cussing up a storm. Uh, she just did the normal Cardi B shit. She kind of took the weekend over. She was the most exciting thing about the weekend. NBA trade deadline happened. A bunch of trades. Uh, Travis Scott was all over the place. He was with James Harden in Cleveland. James Harden's in Cleveland now. He was at the game. Yeah, man, it's a bunch of stuff. Celtics got their ass whooped Super Bowl Sunday by the Knicks. Lost by like almost 30. Yeah, it was just it was a blah Sunday. It was a blah, uneventful Sunday. But nonetheless, we had to pull up. We had to talk about it. And now we getting out of here. We will see y'all again. Don't forget when y'all jump in here, like, share, subscribe for the algorithm. One in the chat if you at work. Thumbs up in the chat if you're chilling. Like, share, subscribe. Do all the things, man. Do all the things. And we getting back to it. And we will see y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all.